Hello and welcome, this is Mercenary, and we're back with some more BattleTech. In the last video, I successfully completed a priority mission in the Smithing system, and although I was victorious, I did take heavy damage on a couple of my mechs, the Blitzgriffin in particular requiring a lot of repairs and replacements. Before we do that though, I'd like to take a look at the contract, see if we have anything in system. We don't, so that gives us free reign to do as many refits and repairs as we want because we have time to do it, well, within reason. Before I do that, though, let's take a look at the store to see if there's anything interesting in there. If I remember correctly, this is where I can get dragon parts. Yeah, it is. And I only need one more to get a dragon. I don't know if I can really use a dragon or would want one necessarily comparatively to what we already have. We'll evaluate that once we jump into the mech bay. But let's take a look at the other systems here. So crit chance. Crit chance. I'm not so interested in that. Okay, the LRN-15... has crit chance and stability damage, and as we've seen, stability damage can be pretty effective. And I use LRM-15s on both the Dragon, which I think already has a similar weapon system, and the Trebuchet. So I'll go ahead and pick this up, as it could be useful on the Trebuchet.
New weapon systems.
And then, what do we have in the LRM-5? Well, the same kind of system here, just, you know, different number as far as the missiles being fired. I'll pick it up as well, although I'm not sure I'm going to use it. Why not? Okay, other stuff. SRM-2 with a damage upgrade. See, that's more what I'm looking for, but for the LRMs. Not so interested in SRM-2, though. And then no special systems here. Okay, well, we looked. Now let's take a look in the mech bay. Now, the problem is, the Dragon's a good mech. As we've seen, the Fire Dragon was the star of the last mission. It was fantastic. It did a really good job. Behemoth was able to get a lot of kills. Problem is, its flexibility is not great. I could turn it into a support mech if it wasn't for the fact that all of the missile slots are in the center torso, limiting how many slots you have to work with. So maybe we could turn another one of our mechs into a backup support mech. The Shadowhawk is an example of a mech that we could do that to. Maybe the Wolverine as well. And both of these mechs, at this point, the way I've modified the Shadowhawk, it is more or less a Wolverine as is. So I may end up changing it to be a support mech instead. Because at the moment, all we have is the Trebuchet as my main frontline support mech. And then the only backup I really have is the Centurion, which is really more of a multi-role mech. It's not as strong as a support mech. At least not at this stage of the game, in my opinion. The Vindicator used to be kind of a support mech for us in the early state of the game, but it's well past that point. A large laser, which is what it's currently equipped with, and an LRM-5 is not enough long-range firepower, and it's definitely not enough indirect fire. So, not, you know, really that big of a fan of this. This probably is the next mech we're going to replace if we were to pick up that Dragon and if we were to think of a way to use it. Now, I could set up the Dragon the same kind of way I have the Blitzgriffin, but the big problem with having a heavy mech is that the jump jets, which I really think I need for this style of play, are double the weight as the standard ones in medium and smaller sized mechs. And the difference between the Griffin and a Dragon is only 5 tons. So with that in mind, it's not going to be as efficient as far as the tonnage. You get some advantages with the Dragon being a heavier mech, but the Griffin probably will run cooler or have more armor or something. I'd have to make some kind of compromise to have the Dragon have the same kind of firepower that the Griffin has. And we already struggle with heat efficiency. We definitely saw that in the last battle with the Griffin, despite my best efforts. The Dragon would only be worse if I set it up with the same kind of firepower, with the same kind of maneuverability. So it technically can be done. I just don't know if it's a good idea because, again, the Griffin would be the better one. Now, I could use it as a backup to the Griffin if I wanted to. I also think that the initiative advantage has a place in the way that we play with the Griffin. So, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. Well, let's get on to the repairs first. Firestar is going to be fairly easy because I'm probably just going to put it right back in its default. I could get some tonnage back I got rid of the machine guns, but then this mech would run even hotter than it already does. Don't let this fool you, heat efficiency-wise, because we saw in that last match, this mech run incredibly hot every time I jumped. And all I was doing was firing a couple medium lasers. So the small lasers would only make that worse. Yes, it'd be better in the weight efficiency, and I could put a heatsink in there with the ton we save, but it still would not be the best. I like it the way it is. I like the default. Let's just go ahead and get rid of some of the noise here. So medium laser, and I guess, you know, again, we'll just put this in its default. So flamer and the medium laser, and that's fine. I mean, this mech has a particular purpose. It served that purpose in the last battle. In maps where we have not the greatest heat efficiency, if there is an enemy mech that struggles with heat, we can focus on it and, you know, hit it with the flamers and really heat it up and make its effectiveness not so great, and maybe even shut it down like we did in the last battle. So, okay, that's what we'll do. It's going to cost a fair amount, not that many days though, fortunately, but we have a decent amount of repairs to do. I expect the Griffin to be worse because it took more damage and has more things to replace. So we have to replace this arm, which had nothing in it. That, which has a heatsink and a couple jump jets. We can go ahead and replace that now. I don't see a reason to really change up the way this mech works. It works effectively. It just struggles when we're on a planet like that where heat efficiency is a problem. Okay, we're going to replace this arm. We're also going to repair that. So now we have to replace the medium lasers. And I can't replace, of course, the upgraded medium laser, but we'll just use standard ones for now. And then we need a small laser, which is down. Okay, so more or less set it up the way it was. Or confirm that. And that's going to take 8 days and quite a bit of money, unfortunately. Okay. So some other mods that I'd want to do. As I said, I would like to have another support mech. Which mech that is, we'll decide in a bit. But another thing I'd like to do while I'm thinking about it, because we did get another one of those upgraded cockpits. I want to refit the Dragon here to take that upgrade. The cockpit mod doesn't require any tonnage. It just takes up a slot in the head. And we saw Behemoth get injured. This will prevent those kind of injuries from happening. So, perfect. So we'll confirm. It'll take a little bit of money and a little bit of time, but not too big of a deal. And the Fire Dragon, as I said, was the star of that last match. And, you know, I really like the setup that we have for it. All right, so now the question is, what are we going to modify? I honestly think that the best course of action is to modify the Shadowhawk. This gives us less backup mechs in some regards, but, you know, to be totally honest with you, what are our backups? At the current moment, the Trebuchet's only real viable backup in my mind is the Centurion. The Dragon's backup would be the Hunchback. And then after that would be the Centurion if we had to go that far. The Griffin's backup is the Wolverine. And then the backup beyond that would be the Shadowhawk. So, we could make this a more viable backup, or maybe even a primary support mech. Maybe. Let's see what we can do with it. If it doesn't turn out to be anything that makes any sense, you don't have to do it. And it will just serve as that backup, as I mentioned. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the autocannon and its ammo. The jump jets can either go or stay. They don't have to stay on the mech. It does give us some flexibility of movement. The medium laser and small laser are going to go for now. I have a couple of ideas of things we can do. The SRM-6 is going to go as well, and the SRM ammo. So we're going to keep the jump jets at the moment. The heat sinks, we'll see. Okay, so let's turn on, we don't want ballistic weapons anymore, unless I want an autocannon. We're going to turn this off. Missile systems are my main concern at the moment. So we do have a damage upgrade in LRM-10, so we could use that. If we think about that, that'd be 50 damage versus 60 damage for an LRM-15. So you're losing a little bit of damage. It would be more heat efficient, slightly. Okay, well, LRM-15, what can we get away with? Where are our slots? We only have 2. So we could do this, LRM-15, and then a standard LRM-15. That's not quite over tonnage. I would have to get rid of some things. According to this, we still have good heat efficiency. Now, if we got rid of the heat sinks, that would obviously change. Let's say we do that. So at this moment, we have the same long-range firepower as the trebuchet at the moment. We would want medium lasers as our backup firepower like what we have. I honestly don't think we can do it. This is going to be less effective. Once we run out of ammo, this mech would be almost useless. And I can't fit in the tonnage for the missiles. I could if I removed the jump jets, but then we wouldn't be that much different from a trebuchet. And even then, let's just take a look at it. I mean, this is, you know, getting to the point where we're stripping practically everything out. And then we go with the ammo. So we'd want LRM ammo. And 3 tons is what we have in the trebuchet. I don't care where they end up going. So we have half a ton to work with at this stage. And we are down on firepower from what the trebuchet has. Because the trebuchet has 2 medium lasers. This only has 1. I don't know. I don't like it. It's an idea, but I just don't like it. So I'm going to revert back to where we were, and we're going to just pretend this never happened. Alright, well, changes I do want to make while we're at it. The trebuchet needs an upgrade. I'm just going to hold out for a true support mech, something like a catapult. Or another trebuchet would be nice. Alright, right torso is less likely to be knocked out. So I will do things with that. Okay. I'm happy with that. We get a little bit of an upgrade. And it's going to cost us a little bit of time and money. But that's good. We use the LRM-15. One of our main damage dealers. I think it's a good idea. Make that change. Okay. I think that's all I want to do for now. As I said, I'd very much like a replacement. The Centurion could be made more a support mech than it already is. But I think I'm going to keep it as is for now. That's just going to be kind of our weak spot. If something happens to our trebuchet, we're going to be, you know, in a lot of trouble, in my opinion. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it higher on the priority list. The Firestarter is the least important thing. And I'm going to put the Fire Dragon up there as well. Pretty high priority. Alright. So those are the changes I'm going to make. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to go from here. So we do have to travel somewhere. We do have some travel missions that we could take. They both go to Mector. Mector is a 3-skull planet. It has a black market, which could be good. It's a travel hub, which could be good. It's rich. It has manufacturing. It's got mining. That sounds really awesome, actually. Let's go there. We haven't been there yet. And, you know, it could prove a good for us. So let's take a look at what we have contract-wise to travel there. I'm guessing both of them go there. Yeah, so we just picked the one that sounds the best. So we have 2 battle missions. I always am hesitant to pick a battle mission, and the reason I'm hesitant to pick one is because there's that possibility where they get reinforcements and you're 2 to 1, and they possibly have more tonnage than you do in 1 lance, and now they have 2. You know, it can be a real mess. We almost get $1 million, though, for the job, so that could be good. Well, let's read through both of them and kind of decide based off that. They're the same difficulty. Looks like pay is slightly better on this one. Salvage is the same. So, many years ago, we fought a lengthy conflict with pirates here in Mektor. Recently, however, news has trickled in from a remote region of the planet, enemy forces harrying regional transportation. Eyewitness reports describe very old mechs and colors from conflicts long since ended. We're to show these old mech warriors that the war is over for them as well. Commander, we can't underestimate these old timers. You know, this one already strikes me as the one that'd probably be wiser, because I think with these ones, you're a lot less likely to encounter reinforcements. Let's read what the other one we have. We have detected an inbound dropship belonging to the Oregon Directorate. Our local defense forces in the expected drop area are ill-equipped to handle a lance of mechs. With your aid, we can ensure that the raid does minimal damage. We'd like you to intercept the Directorate lance and destroy it. All right, I think this one has a lot higher chance of having those reinforcement. So I'm going to go to this one, Stubborn Surrender. These are the old mech warriors. They are pirates, I think, right? Isn't that what it said? Something like that. And they probably have a little bit more run-down mechs, but they could be powerful mechs at this difficulty level. So we can't take them lightly, as it says here. All right, well, let's negotiate. I'm fine with 50-50. We could go more on salvage. But we wouldn't get any more priority picks, so I'm fine with where it is at. We do need money, for sure. All right. Let's accept.
Roger that, Commander. Course plotted.
And away we go. Okay, we are going to have a financial report soon. I think we're doing quite well on morale, so I'm not sure I'm going to pay extra for it. And, you know, money is a little tight. So, that's our current expenses. And I must have paid more for things before. So we can keep things under 500,000 if I go with this. I'm fine with that. We can get paid more than that by doing missions on this new system. So, yeah, let's go with that. Now, when I get here, I'm not going to launch into the contract, as there's a good possibility there's things in the store that we'd want, considering all of the attributes that we saw there. And by the time we get there, I didn't see my timeline. I may not have some mechs back online. I have to take a look at that. Okay, we'll just get to Blitz Griffin in time. Okay, happy accidents. Darius opens the morning briefing with a scowl on his face. We picked up new supplies a few weeks ago, and we're just now opening some of the crates of the machine tools, and well, I can't believe this has happened again, but Yang practically explodes from his chair. We have more frozen triple F burger meat. Do you know how hard this stuff is to come by in the periphery? Dr. Murad sighs audibly. Please tell me that the refrigeration was still operational. I don't want a repeat of last time. Alright, so there's a possibility that if we give this to the crew, it'll make them sick. According to what I'm reading here. But it would help morale, wouldn't it? And then Darius selling it could hurt morale, but we get some cash. I don't think we'd get much cash, though, from what I've seen. I'm going to give it to Yang. What the heck? He seemed excited. Oh, and we get tech points as well as the morale. Cool. Yang's eager face makes it a little harder to strike a stern tone. Chief, I'm going to give you this shipment, but, you add forcefully, this time I don't want to find half of your technicians in the mech bay. I want those things cooked well done, and then some. Later in the week, word spreads of the dinner that Yang threw for his mech techs, complete with a fresh batch of engine room rust gut. While not everyone got a chance to partake, the persistent smell of barbecued triple F has somehow increased refit productivity, and your mech warriors are happy with the results. Okay, good stuff. Doesn't last long, but hey, it helps. We might have more things we want to do when we get to the planet, too, so. Okay, there's our travel. Alright, so the important mechs are up and running. I didn't take a look at what the system stuff is, but I'm gonna hit not yet, obviously. I don't know if we can see they're already active. One. I think once we accepted it, it's kind of been cleared from here. But as we can see, there are 3 more missions here, so we could hang out here for a little while. Okay. Well, that's not a lot of money considering how high the difficulty is. I'm not sure how excited I would be to do that one. The rest seem to be battle missions, which, as I said, those have a distinct possibility of having very high difficulty spikes. I have seen that in my secondary campaign that I do on my own time. I've encountered at least 2 times a similar situation to what we saw in that one battle where I was outnumbered 2 to 1, and the mechs actually outweighed me in some regards too. So, yeah, I want to avoid those kind of situations because they can occur. Okay, well, let's go through and do a lot of the things that we need to do as setup. First thing, let's go to the store and see if we have anything interesting. All right, let's go up to the top. So we have a fire starter and a Shadowhawk. I don't care about either one. Is this a standard Shadowhawk or the upgraded one? Looks like the standard one. Okay. Got an AC2 with increased accuracy. Not so interested in that. We have an LRM-20. That could be interesting. I don't use LRM-20s yet, but they could prove useful. What do we got going on here? Now I have a 10% discount. Trying to get the pop-up. 50% bonus payment for contracts and a 10% discount in shops and systems this faction controls. Well, that kind of incentivizes us to stick around here, even though I do want to improve relationships with other factions for the same reasons. Let's see. We got a PPC, +2 accuracy. Another SRM2 with damage up. Ooh, what's this? TTS. EC 1000. +1 accuracy ballistic. All mechs come equipped with a stock targeting and tracking system, or TTS. Can be upgraded for improved performance. Upgrades increase accuracy when attacking with ballistic, energy, or missile weaponry, depending on the type of TTS. So this works specifically for ballistic weapons. There are certain mechs that would definitely benefit from this. We don't have those mechs, but this is tempting because it is probably a rare system, and again, certain mechs would really benefit from it. It does take tonnage and 2 slots. I don't know where you put it in the mech. It couldn't be in the head because the head only has 1 slot in this game. So we'll see. We don't have to buy it right this second, though. I mean, again, money is kind of a thing. I'll go with that LRM-20, though, because that could prove useful in the future.
New weapon system.
Whereas this system is not useful to me at this moment, because I don't really use ballistic weapons heavily. At least not anymore, I don't. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at our mech warriors. I don't think Behemoth is well yet, but I don't know. I didn't see her recovery time.
Standing by.
1 more day. We could stick it out for her, but, you know, I don't think it matters one way or the other. Decker has 5,000 points, so strong incentive to use his experience. We're only a couple hundred away from this. I want to wait on that. And then what does Glitch have for us? 4,400. Bolt shot bonus, that seems pretty good for her. And then the other thing we could do is Guts, which doesn't help me at this moment. I'm going to go with this, because I like that cold shot idea. So confirm. Do we want to give her piloting? I mean, it's not that important for her. I think a hold on it.
Mech warrior training.
Okay, we are probably going to use Jalopy then, because we don't have Behemoth.
Good to go.
So what do we want to send her? Well, I think we might as well hold out, though. She's going to technically be a backup Lancer. They do change the names once you get to a certain, once you get to here, actually. So we'll hold on her because I want to get that accuracy up. And me? Alternatively, I could use Medusa, but he's kind of behind the curve a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so really not a lot of upgrading at the moment because, well, him. I haven't decided what I want with him yet. So melee hit, that does absolutely nothing for him. Recoil doesn't do anything for him either, but eventually the heat threshold would be nice. We could get it there. So let's do that. Overheat threshold.
Training complete.
That does help him. Okay. So we've done all that. I don't think there's any other changes we want to make in the mech bay, because we didn't find anything all that interesting here. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here. So we had all the repairs and refits and other things going on, and we'll do this mission in the next video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.